This is right downtown Stockholm, right by the palace. This is on the other side of the road looking downriver. Right in the heart of Stockholm. We'll be coming, we can see the King's Palace from here. It's just to my right. This is actually where they hand out the Nobel Prize, this building right here in Stockholm, Sweden. The banquet is someplace else, but this is where the prize is handed out. And our guide says that it is full of art. They're having this is the 1st of May, and we're in downtown Stockholm, and they're having a May Day demonstration. Students, most of the people are young, and they're demonstrating. This is May the 1st. It is their Labor Day here in Stockholm. This is the skyline of Stockholm, Sweden. Very, very, very beautiful city. It just consists of a whole bunch of islands. There's islands every place. And Stockholm itself, I believe, is on an island. There's so much water around you can't tell whether you're on an island or the city is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is the city hall, and this is the symbol of Swedish symbol, 3 crowns. It's on the city hall. There goes Dorothy. We're in a courtyard, and this is where they have the banquet for the Nobel Peace Prize. These are demonstrators. It's May Day, the first of May. They are demonstrating. They're laborers. We've seen hundreds of policemen and thousands of demonstrators. The architecture in this city is absolutely beautiful. They're chanting something. I just can't understand what they're saying. This is Anne Marie, our guide. This is quite a place. I'm turning around in 180 degrees. I don't know what all these buildings are, but this is the actual palace that the King of Sweden lives in. He has offices downtown that he goes to, and I guess he's a very wealthy person because he's a very shrewd businessman. There's a queen right there. Sweden and Stockholm, the city of Stockholm, is just absolutely beautiful. Water and rivers everywhere. Islands, islands, and islands, all connected with bridges. Beautiful. This is standing outside of Dorothy Home Palace. It's the King's Summer Palace. It's actually where the King of Sweden lives. We just took a tour of the palace. Or the older part of the palace, the part that the royal family lives in. Of course, they didn't let us go through there. This is the palace. It's a very large building, so close I couldn't get pictures of it. This building here, I'm standing out in front of the Drottningham Palace, or Drottningholm Palace is what it is. I'm taking a picture of, the carriage house, and it's where they would have the military station to guard the king. This palace was built in the 1660s. About 1667 it was finished. It took 20 years to build a palace, and then it took about another 30 years to do the inside. I don't know if this is going to come out or not. We're inside of a museum, and this is, I think the name of it is the Vasa. It is a Viking ship that was built, I think around in the 1600s. The Vasa that's sunk on its maiden voyage when it was launched. It was the biggest warship on Earth when it was built. And it had 2 gun decks, and that was its downfall. The king insisted that they have an extra gun deck higher up. That made it top heavy, and it tipped over and sunk. But you can see it was hewed out of rough, a thousand oak trees. There was 1,000 oak trees cut down to build this ship. And it was under the sea for 333 years before they finally found it and brought it up. In 1961. They brought it up in 1961. But it is one of the most beautiful buildings that you ever see in your life. This is Dorothy standing outside. This is the hall where they award the Nobel Prizes. The awards are actually given in this hall, and it's about half a block from our hotel. The banquet, the dinner, the Nobel dinner, is about a mile from here. And it's given down in the city hall. Here we are. We think we're about 2 or 3 blocks from the Nobel Prize gift store. It's where they have the dinner. After they present the Nobel Prize, they have a dinner down here, and there's a gift store down there. It's actually like City Hall where they have the dinner. Okay. This is a little street. This is Dorothy sitting on a bench, cooling herself. This is right outside of the Nobel Museum. This is the Nobel Museum. This is our last day in Stockholm, and we're flying to Copenhagen. This is Just taking some of the pictures of the architecture, the city, the streets here. Most of these streets were built in the 1600s sometime. They're just wide enough you could get a car through. Most of these buildings are maybe a couple hundred years old. This is some kind of a fountain that's, I think it's basically shut off now, but it's right outside of the Nobel Museum.